Welcome to the Bubby Brister Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is stuck at the airport, so I'm joined by Nick again this week. Nick, you ready to do some box score diving?
Yeah, let's dive in the box scores.
All right, we'll start at the top. This is Pound Town versus Mile High Salute. I won this game 121-76. My projections throughout the day were a lot higher, but a lot of people didn't live up to the end of the bargain. But it didn't matter because Brandon really shit the bed. 76 points is one of the lowest totals you can have.
That has to be probably the lowest this year, if not the lowest.
He had a losing Bills head coach, and then the Bills kicker, Matt Prater, got 1 point. He had a nice showing from the defense, 20. But RJ Harvey, 2 points. Dalton Kincaid, 5 points. Let's see how he's been doing. Yeah, that was his second lowest output of the year. Jordan Addison has really hit the skids.
Yeah, he's totally fell apart now with JJ back there.
Cortland Sutton, another dud. That is his... Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had 3 catches, 24 yards. That was a weird Thursday night game against the Raiders.
Yeah, Barkley gave him 21 points with 60 yards rushing and some catches as well. Didn't find the end zone in that terrible Monday night game. He started the Eagles defense, gave him another 20. So that's 40 points of his 76. If that tells his tale of the tape.
Yeah, Bo Nix only 12 points. He's the 7th-ranked quarterback. That's sneaky. Oh, he was propelled by that 49-point game against the Giants a few weeks ago. But ever since that 49-point, it's just been 34, 24, and now 12. He hasn't had over 200 yards passing in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been Bo Nix is extremely. They call him Bo Tebow now. Tebow Nix, that's what they're calling him out there because just he plays like Tim Tebow. Like some games he's amazing, some games he's terrible. It's just what's happening.
Yeah, that's harsh. And then we've been harping on his bench for a good long while now. One bench point again.
I mean, Tank Bisbee is getting he's getting really barely anything unless they're blowing people out. Kevin Booty, he was out this week, so I was going to guarantee no points there. And Ray Davis had a catch for -2 yards, looks like, so that's ugh.
He picked up Joe Burrow, who has returned to practice, so we'll see if he gets anything out of him.
Yeah, December.
And then to me, Lamar, 22, that's fine. Dowdle, 21, 53 yards and a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard got no work. I guess we'll see him later. Woody Marks, I got him in a trade for Bill to Corey Krosky-Merritt. That worked out at the perfect time. This trade was offered to me. It was Woody Marks and Ricky Pearsall for Jerry Jeudy and Krosky-Merritt. Woody Marks got me 19 points, 63 yards, and a touchdown in the Texans loss. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 catches, 58 yards. He got in the end zone against the Commanders.
And he got punched in the face.
Yeah, Daron Payne punched him in the face. That's what you get for doing the Trump dance with the
pretty much
with Supreme Leader in the stadium. Luke Musgrave, I fucked up. I owe K-Dot an apology. K-Dot got 17 on my bench. I tried playing Musgrave, hoping he could fill the Tucker Kraft role. That was fool's gold.
Yeah, he can't. I mean, he's going to get targets, I guess, because it's just the way the Packer offense is set up where he just kind of spreads the ball around. Jordan Love, the fix is in, man. He's not that good. He's okay. Yeah, but Musgrave had three targets, and he caught all 3 targets. And the one target, it was a deep target. He got pass interference calls. That didn't really matter. AJ Brown, 2 for 13. Nice cardio day for him.
Yeah, I just got to keep plugging him in there, I guess, and hope he finds his form. Kenny Walker, 67 yards on the bench, 11 points. And Tyrone Tracy, he did end up becoming the lead back this week. So I can play him a little more confidently moving forward. Then Chris Rodriguez is interesting. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has not been very good at all. It's not all his fault. Commanders can't get a lead, so they can't establish a run.
Right.
But Rodriguez got 6 carries, 16 yards, and a touchdown. Second touchdown in a row. Third touchdown in 4 weeks. He is a little banged up though, but I don't think it would be a total shocker to see him getting increased carries going forward.
Yeah, they might want to see what they got in him, just so they could keep track of everything.
That's it for me here, though. Kept my season alive, improved to 4-6. Brandon was on a 3-game winning streak, so he was due to lose. Next up is Stealing the Wins. Art versus Smash Hawk. This was a close one, 122 to 114. Smash Hawk falls to 5-5. Art is still alive at 4-6. All those 3-6 teams needed to win this week. Yeah, and Art did here. Another dud from Aaron Rodgers, though, only 11 points. He had 19 last week.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man. Why are we acting like we're surprised? He's Aaron Rodgers, man. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards in forever. It's he still has it. I mean, he looks great in the pocket. He throws a nice ball. It's not translating. I don't know.
Yeah, he's married to him right now. The only other quarterback on his roster at this time was Carson Wentz, and he can drop in.
Yeah, he's not coming back. He's gone.
Brees Hall, a really big game, 27 points, 80.
That's the guy I'm circling because if not, Brees Hall had that long catch. If he didn't have that, Brees would have had a terrible game. He took it 42 yards and for that touchdown. So if he didn't have that, Stealing the Wins would have lost.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that was a 42-yard touchdown catch. That's at least 11 points right there. The Jets needed that too because they finally won another game. Rashard White, 38 yards, 13 points, 10 carries. Bucky Irving still doubtful going into this week?
Yeah, he has something wrong with his shoulder. Like he can't take contact with that shoulder. It's a tough time for because Rashard White isn't really taking the mantle of like you're the lead back. You should be leading. He's not really doing that because Sean Tucker is still eating away at some carries too. He's running better than him, but Rashard White's better at pass pro. So
yeah, White did much better 2 years ago with the extended work, and it's just this year it's a little bit boring. But it is his fifth straight game with double-digit points, so he is
true. Serviceable.
And then Justin Jefferson, we called it a sad stack when Wentz was there. What's it with McCarthy now? Just dead weight?
Yeah, it's just
how concerned are you if
it's the meme of the Bugatti at the shack? You know what I mean? You have a Bugatti living in a shack. JJ isn't doing anything to help Justin Jefferson. You know, you're talking about he had 12 targets, so he's getting the looks. It's just they might just be bad passes, just bad passes in general.
Yeah, Pittman, 3 points, 2 catches, 2 targets, 19 yards. This was his first bad game in 3 weeks. He had 63 points combined the previous 3 weeks.
Yeah, Pittman, he kind of fell off the table there. Not sure what happened there because they definitely could have used his big play. Just he didn't have it across the water.
Kittle, his best game in a long time. His best game of the season. 9 catches, 9 targets, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
All in garbage time. So it's like, it's good, but how good is it? You know what I mean? It all happened after the Rams had a 24-point lead. It was like, well, this game is over.
Olave still doing things. He's up to the 9th ranked receiver. 5 catches, 8 targets, 104 yards, a touchdown. He broke the 100-yard barrier for the first time this season.
Olave 5-100. He had a long touchdown catch where their number 1 in Carolina fell down on the route, so he was just like wide open catching it going in there. So yeah, good job for hitting the 100 mark. It's a bit fool's gold because that was a 62-yard catch. That busted coverage catch was 60 yards. So without that, who knows what he had there.
I guess what it does is it shows Tyler Shuck can float a decent receiver. Like he's not going to J.J. McCarthy Olave here.
All right, we'll see. I think Drew's still out there. That was Olave's first game without Rashid Shaheed, so we'll see what it looks like.
Packers 14, Will Lutz 3, no head coach. He never uses a head coach. Travion Henderson, though, breakout. He's got to get him in the lineup going forward. Monster game.
He had a monster game. Again, that's capped off by 2 long runs. So without the long runs, what are we looking at? But it's worth monitoring that he is the lead back. He's now, this game kind of helps solidify that the Patriots have to use him. If they don't use him, you're stupid. So he's a guy that should be instantly plugged in. Um, he'd be a good guy to plug in over Rashard White, maybe, to get a little more boom for your buck.
Yeah, he drafted him 59th overall. He'd been waiting all season for this, so like 2 touchdowns, that doubles his season total rushing wise. Yeah, he's got to play him. Jawan Johnson, a good game on the bench, 4 catches, 92 yards. More Tyler Shuck work.
Yeah, now that's sustainable. I can see that's sustainable because Johnson was good early in the season with the previous. Then he kind of fell off. There was a lull between quarterbacks. He kind of lulled off, but then at one moment, Johnson was like ranked 3 tight end.
Yes, he is 7th now. The first 3 weeks, 15, 15, 11, and then the 3 single-digit weeks, and then 12, 10, 12, and 19 the last 4 weeks. Back-to-back touchdown weeks, too. So.
Working them back in, yeah.
And then Smash Hawk, the losing head coach was his path to victory. If he had just sat a head coach or, played a winning when he would have won. He took a goose egg from the Bills defense. He did get 20 points from J.J. McCarthy, which beats Aaron Rodgers by 9.
Right.
Bijan, though, 16 points. He's not getting in the end zone, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. When they get to the end zone, if you look down his roster, Tyler Algier's there with 2 end zone rushes. I don't know. Maybe it's the way the game plan is. They need to bang up the middle, and Bijan's not one of them guys that runs up the middle. He's a scat back. So maybe trying to protect him for a playoff run if they make the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know what the Falcons are doing here.
Yeah, Algier's a bigger back, so if you trust him down there to bang the ball in the end zone, makes sense to save Robinson from a hit on a 2-yard play. Monongahela, 10 points. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Not bad. I think he's kind of coming back down to earth with Swift playing. Swift is still the lead back. He didn't have a lot of carries going on with that. Like, he had a lot of carries when Swift was out, but Swift has outplayed him. So it's just what it is.
McMillan, no touchdown in the Panthers loss to the Saints. Tez Johnson, is this real or not real? This 4 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns, 20 points.
The 2 touchdowns is kind of like hit or miss, but I think the 4 catches could be real, especially with Tampa. I mean, you're talking, they have the receiving core is Tez is a 7th round draft pick that's pretty much uses their 3rd now because they're down to their 6th, 7th string receiver. So he's their 3rd. So why not?
Yeah, third week in 4 with double-digit points. And then Trey McBride cannot quit getting in the end zone with Kyler Murray gone. He is the official number 1 ranked tight end. 9 catches, 13 targets, 127 yards. That's a season high. This is his 5th touchdown in the last 4 weeks.
Welcome back, McBride. Welcome back. You know what I mean? It only took Kyler Murray sitting down. I mean, that's why Kyler Murray ain't going to play the rest of the season. They're done with Kyler Murray. Even though they were really bad, Cardinals were really bad last Sunday. I don't see Kyler playing the rest of the season because the offense is just different with him, with Jacoby out there. So, especially with Trey McBride, again, your best players, you let your best players catch. So, you use your best players. He's using his best players. Trey McBride is money.
Yeah, nothing really doing on the bench. Fannin 8. He's still pretty much doing what he does. And
he's doing what he does because Njoku got in the end zone. So it's just they still run 2 tight end sets. They still got the same quarterback, and then no one starts and no one has on the roster. So, I mean, that just says the Brown situation.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel's not even playable in like 2 quarterback leagues.
Right. You just can't do it.
3rd game, Sweetness 34. This is Chris Heater, 119 to Jones, 156. This is Heater's 3rd loss in a row. He is officially reeling. Jones is up to 500 with his 2nd win in a row. Heater had 44 points from Jahmyr Gibbs and still couldn't get the job done.
That's a tough one. When your player gives you 40 and you still lose. In the fashion he loses, it's a tough one. That's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a guy who scores 156. He took a 0 from some guy named Jennings, Patriots back, who had 5 yards and left the game injured.
Jeez, I have no idea who that
He
person
won a
is.
contest.
Make a wish, kid.
DK Metcalf is officially on the struggle bus. Only 8 points the last 2
That's
weeks.
back to back weeks, man. Just absolute garbage. And you think about it, last 2 weeks he had 11 targets. So it's not like he's not getting targets either. It's just and Aaron Rodgers ain't a bad thrower of the ball. So I'm really confused. It's not a JJ McCarthy situation. Aaron Rodgers is known for being accurate. I have no idea what's happening. Just DK Metcalf, number one wide receiver without a surefire number two, is kind of washed.
And Fryermuth isn't really a tight end to bring in a
He's
lot
not
of
a
catches
threat.
either. Keenan Allen, this is a Russian roulette wheel with the way the Chargers running backs are scoring lately. He only has 17 points the last 3 weeks.
The wide receiver core of the Chargers is just absolutely troublesome, I guess. In fantasy wise, it sucks because the ball being spread around is not being spread around enough. And it's just, there's lots of mouths to feed, and your head coach wants to run the ball.
Dalton Schultz got in the end zone, 7 catches, 53 yards.
That's the Mills right there. The Mills, boy. Yeah, Bateman, though, 1 for 10. God, 1 catch for 10 yards. I don't know if Rashard Bateman's ever, like, playable. It's just, looking at his roster, like, maybe you could have picked Cooper. You could have had Chubb or even Cooper Kupp as a chance. You know what I mean? Bateman just, the way Lamar throws the ball right now, the way the offense is running for Baltimore, it's not pass happy. They're not scoring like last year.
Yeah, Bateman is like one of the last guys you should be playing. Not that Cooper Kupp has really done much to, beg his way in the lineup, but yeah,
he usually runs Dalton Schultz and Ferguson, so he usually runs a 2 tight end set. So that's why he's kind of like struggling.
Yeah, he couldn't do that because Ferguson on a bye and Kraft is injured. He can drop Kraft. He can probably drop Evans too.
Yeah, he could drop both of those
insider.
People. Right. Yeah, he could drop Evans too. Evans ain't gonna be back unless maybe if they make deep in the playoffs. So he's gone.
To Jones here. Big week. 21 points for Ashton Genty, 20 from Herbert. Judkins, 75 yards, 18 points. This is just double digits up and down the lineup. Only his kicker was in the single digits.
Yeah, he just straight rolled him. That's it. That's as simple as that. He rolled him. Just if you get double digits from everybody and your kicker didn't give double digits but still gave something, it's a tough day at the office if you're going against that person because they're just scoring it. Even Debo got in the end zone, 4 catches for 29 yards, and he was wide open for his touchdown. So yeah, if it's happening like that. I mean, Andrews got in 3 for 14. He was like wide open back of the end zone for that touchdown. So it's when that happens to you, you just gotta just put your phone away because it's going to be a tough afternoon. He even has Keon Coleman on the bench, and Keon Coleman fell in the end zone of all people. Keon Coleman scored a touchdown.
Keon Coleman hadn't had a double-digit week since week 5. And on the flip side of Keenan Allen, Jones had Ladd McConkey 4 catches, 107, and a touchdown for 20 points.
Yeah, that hurts.
Aaron Jones, you got to be happy with that. 17 points, 9 carries, 47 yards, a touchdown. He also caught 3 passes for 22 yards on 6 targets. So McCarthy is just panic dumping off to Jones.
Yeah, that's it. That's where all the catches are going to in Minnesota. And it's kind of surprising because Jordan Mason's a better running back, in my opinion, than Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones still getting the push over. So it's what it is.
Nothing on the bench. Xavier Worthy on a bye, and Terry McLaurin still out. But yeah, big win for Jones. Next up, we got Lionheart with his 8-game winning streak on the line versus New Day Co-op. Slade wins this one handily. Lionheart didn't finish the job. 142 to 106.
Yeah, I mean Lionheart, got snapped in royal fashion here in a drumming. Jalen Hurts, non-exciting day at the office there for him. 183 yards and a touchdown. McCaffrey, 30 yards, but a whole lot of catches. So it makes 21 points there. Montgomery, 71 yards, 16 points, not bad. Marvin Harrison Jr., 3 for 33 and a touchdown for 14 points. And just fresh off the press, Marvin Harrison Jr. is having an appendicitis surgery this week, so he will not be playing this Sunday coming up. So, yeah, that just came through that literally came through my phone as you were talking. So, Quentin Johnson, 5 for 42, 9 points. Brock Bowers, 1 for 31. That, you can't blame him for starting him because my man scored so big last week. They have to follow up, and it just no, not at all. So it's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad.
1 for 31 is crazy because he only had 3 targets. That's what's even crazier. So like Denver said, if you're gonna beat us, it will not be this guy that's gonna beat us.
Yeah, with Jacoby Myers traded, it's probably gonna be easy for teams to double up Brock Bowers.
Myers wasn't even playing when he was there. He wasn't even playing. He wasn't on the field. You remember what happened to the Raiders draft darling Thornton? What happened to him? Remember him?
What was his name? Jack Beck too.
Jack Beck, Thornton, like these guys were supposed to be offensive beasts, and we've seen nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Lions 2-point defense somehow against the Commanders. The kicker 12 points and the 10 from the winning head coach. And then Jameson Williams on the bench. I did some research here. 23 points, 6 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. Dan Campbell took over play calling this week for the Lions. So he had a mission in mind, get Jameson Williams the ball. So I had the intern in 5 games that Lionheart started JMO. 6, 18, 6, 6, 1, and a 0 for 37 points. In the 3 games Lionheart left JMO on the bench, 18, 16, and 23 for 57 points.
Oh, I would have probably traded him because I'm like, I have no luck with him this year, so I'm going to have to just get rid of him. Maybe somebody else have luck with him because every time he's on the bench, he's like magic. And it's like, I would have probably got rid of him.
It'll be easy to get him in the lineup now with Harrison's appendicitis, and Romeo Dobbs only had 1 catch for 5 yards. So, just plug JMO in there, set it and forget it. And then Jerry Jeudy might find his way in the lineup. This is
Jerry
funny.
Jeudy.
He's on 3 teams this week. He was on your team, my team, and Will's team. He ends up on Lionheart after a waiver claim and 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. That's got to be infuriating for both of us.
It is actually like maddening to see that because I'm like, you serious? Like had him all year, like hoping he'll do something, and it's just deal with 3-point scores, and he's like 19 now. You bastard.
Yeah, he goes to the best team in the fantasy league and shows himself to possibly be serviceable for this stretch run.
I got you, coach. And sometimes I guess it's who you want to play for. I guess sometimes who you want to play for.
New Day, huge win. He was 3-6 coming in. A loss would have really set him back. 142. Mac Jones is very interesting to me. 34 points. Do you go back to Brock Purdy? I think you have to, right?
You have to go back to Brock Purdy because you just paid him. You just paid him, so you have to go back.
Yeah.
They have to. They have no choice but to go back. They have to. The players have to speak very glowingly of Mac Jones because he's doing well, but you have to trust in the quarterback who took you to Super Bowl 2 years ago. You have to trust that guy and hope that he doesn't shit the bed anymore.
Yeah, Mac Jones is only owned in 7.4% of leagues. That's pretty low, but
it's only low. It's only low because we have 14 teams. If you're a 10 team, typical 10 team, 12 team, Mac Jones ain't starting in those leagues. We're at 14, and then his backup is Dak Prescott. Again, he's not. If Dak was playing, Mac wouldn't have started this week.
That's true. Yeah, he had no CD Lamb, no Chad Brown. So pretty high scoring week for him with all those guys on bye. Kyron Williams, 2 touchdowns.
His fill-ins came in really well.
53 yards for Tucker. Real or not?
Like I said, it's real because he's a downhill runner. So, but that number could have been better. He dropped in the first quarter, he dropped like a pass where Breaker kind of sidearmed him to him. And if he would have caught it, he could took at least 25, 30 yards, and he dropped it. It was like, well, that type of day in the office.
Zay Flowers, 75 yards, 11 points. And then Alex Pierce, 18 points. This guy is really coming on the last 2 weeks. 35 points last 2 weeks, 10 catches, 20 targets, over 200 yards, and a touchdown.
He's our number 2, and he's proven his worth. He reminds me of because he's a white guy and he's on the Colts. He reminds me of that one guy the Colts had, not Brendan Stokely, but they had a guy after Brendan Stokely. It was a white dude, and he was sneaky good. And I forgot his name.
Austin Collie.
There it is. Austin Collie was sneaky good. He was like, bro, what's happening? Austin Collie, 110 yards receiving. You're like, what's happening? Who are these people? That's a dig of the crates right there.
Yeah, Peyton Manning effect. Kyle Pitts, another fart, and then Roma Dunze.
Yeah. Welcome back, because he scored 0 points last week. so he had 20 points this week. So it's definitely have to ride the wave of Roma Dunze these weeks. I guess they made a point to get him involved this week, because last week he only had 3 targets. So this week he had 10. So definitely Ben Johnson says we're going to get this guy involved.
Yeah, the Bears look good in a 24-20 win. Do you wonder if that game would have had a different result if Jackson Dart hadn't gotten injured?
Oh, it would have been hella different. Yeah.
But any path to victory here for Lionheart? I don't think so.
No,
JMO over 22.
Nope.
That would have made it 142-138, though, if JMO over Dobbs. You don't expect to play Jerry Jeudy over Quentin Johnson.
Right. That's not happening. There's no way you would do that. You can't foresee that.
Yeah, maybe next week, but not the way Jeudy came into this week. 3 games left. Jordan, he missed high points by... He was the 3rd highest scorer because Rob Hine had 177, DeMoss had 175, and then Jordan had 174. So that's tough to get 174 and still not even be in the top 2 in scoring. But
right.
And he did this with a 12 from Jordan Love. It was Devin Achane's 2nd career game over 200 yards from scrimmage that propelled his victory here. That was 48 points.
Yeah, Jordan Love, man. And he would have had points if Jordan Love was actually a good quarterback. That's all I can say, because it's like, you just can't. Come on, man. 12 points is garbage. A-Chain, 48 points, so 174 yards rushing, which is crazy to see for him, with 2 touchdowns on the Bills defense. The Bills were just exposed this past game. Jay Warren for the Steelers, 70 yards, 15 points. Very consistent. He's a very consistent running back. Ranked 21. I thought he'd be ranked a little bit higher than that, because he just, every week, he's giving you rushing, receiving. He's trying to be a lot better than I thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year. Taking that last year, he was a backup. So he showed what he could do. Puka 5 for 64 with a touchdown, 17 points. I don't know what happened. Did he get hurt? He stopped. He was scoring points, and then when they started winning, Puka just didn't catch the ball anymore. It was like, well, that's it. It's like, that's it, huh?
Yeah, he's the 4th ranked tight end. That's with leaving week 6 early and missing week 7 and then his bye week. And then, he's came back nice the last 2 weeks. 39 points, 12 catches, 14 targets, 2 touchdowns, 160 yards receiving. So, yeah, that helps. Tyler Warren, 8 catches, 99 yards, 17 points. Alvin Kamara, he's back, baby.
Yeah.
22 points.
Yeah.
22 carries, 83 yards. That's not so great.
I don't know if he's back, because the Carolina Panthers shit the bed in the worst way in this game. Like this, everybody, if you had an eliminator pool and you picked the Carolina Panthers to beat the Saints, you're out. The Saints only won 1 game. They're 1-8. This should have been an easy dub, and then they get drummed by him. So
yeah, he had another 3 catches for 32 yards. If you're the Saints, just give him the ball 25 times to finish out the season.
Yeah, just kill him off.
The other running back they had is Kendre Miller. He's already out for the season, so
right.
It's not like you need to get somebody else some work.
Neal's the other guy. So yeah, time to end it. Just do what you got to do.
Then he got 27 points from the fantasy special teams compared to Spawn's 10. So
That's the
that
thing.
was big. And Charbonnet, 83 yards, a touchdown. The Seahawks are very good. They're a very solid football team.
Yeah, they're Seattle. Seattle is Smith and Jigma is a real deal. Sam Darnold's playing good enough, and their defense isn't allowing big plays.
Yeah, Smith and Jigba, I'm glad you mentioned him. 5 catches, 93 yards, a touchdown on the other side for Spawn. He joined Michael Irvin and Antonio Brown as the only players to ever have 75 plus receiving yards in the first 9 games of the season. But other than that, Rob's week wasn't very good. Drake May, 25 points, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs still killing it. And then Chuba is officially doghoused.
Josh Jacobs is the entire offense of Green Bay. He's the entire offense. Like he is getting the ball a lot. Ranked number 4 running back. You know, you're talking about 21 carries, 74 yards. He had 5 catches off 6 targets for 33 yards. He's their offense. That's it. But like you said, Chuba is officially, I don't know, 3 carries for 14 yards, 1 catch for 1 yard. He's got paid. Like I said, he's got paid. He got paid. So I don't know what to do here. They paid him pretty good to like just be meh.
Yeah, he has 8 carries for 31 yards the last 2 weeks. That kind of goes in line with his YPC when he was the bell cow back. It seems like they're living in 2 extremes where they're giving him the ball a lot at the beginning of the season, which made sense because nobody knew what Rico Dowdle was going to do. And then Chuba gets hurt. Then they give Dowdle the ball like 40 times a game. And that was working well. And then Chuba came back and they tried to make him be the guy again, try and say, hey, you're not going to lose your job to injury. But then Dowdle was doing far better in his limited work. And now it's just like, Chuba, go home. We'll call you if we need you.
Yeah, we'll call you if he gets hurt.
There's got to be a balance here for him. But as of now, he is unplayable.
Yeah, quite unplayable right now. He's just a guy you stash in case Dowdle gets hurt because right now it ain't happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like full disclosure, if he dropped Chuba Hubbard, I would pick him up.
Right, you pick him up because
Dowdle's
injuries happen. Right, absolutely.
But yeah, nothing else. 6 from Freiermuth, 15 for Troy Franklin. He's having a nice little season.
Yeah, nice rookie season here.
3rd week out of 4 with double-digit points. 4 touchdowns last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if you have him, I mean, you're definitely you'd be happy with him because he's a free agent pickup that no one he took a flyer pick on him a couple weeks ago, whatever, and he's beginning to pay off. He's been scoring some points.
Yeah, he's playable, especially with this Chuba Hubbard situation seemingly closed up. Yeah, no path to victory though. This was just an ass beating.
Yeah.
Spawn was due for a low point total too. He'd been doing very well. This is you, Buck. What you think? Renegades of Funk, 4-6. You lost. You were 3-6. Didn't get the win here. So yeah, you cannot lose another game this season.
Yeah, I would say my chances to make the playoffs are over now. You know, my head coach is clearing out his office. You know, I mean, the team tried to make a good effort to good effort to show up this week. Jackson Dart, 242, 2 rushing touchdowns, 29 points. He got knocked out in that game. So he could probably hit the 30 bench mark. Bam Knight, 7 points. Devin Singletary actually gave something there for 12 points as a handcuff Tracy, which is interesting. Nico Collins, 7 for 36, 7 for 136. Again, this is the backup quarterback throwing to the best player on offense and making him work, letting him work. Because since, Stroud went down, my man's had back-to-back. He's had, in the last 2 weeks, had 36 points. At no time during the stretch, it's upset maybe week 1 and week 2 and 3 had maybe stretch of this type of numbers from him. So good on him. Mbuka, 6 for 115, a touchdown. Gadsden, second here, 3 for 13. He got hurt, and he's gonna be out for a while, so that's unfortunate. P. Washington, 3 for 33 and 2 total touchdowns. He had a punt return for touchdowns. That's always a special treat when you have he wasn't even on offense and scored no touchdown there.
35 points last 2 weeks for Parker Washington.
Yeah, and he's slated now to be at least number 2 or number 3. He's right now number 2 spot because he's still on the team with Myers there. Myers might usurp him for number 2, but he's going to be there. Thomas is going to miss some weeks, apparently. He might miss another week. So we'll see how the offense goes without him there and what happens there. Bench didn't really do much. Slayton had a long catch, so it was 4 for 89 for 12 points.
I always forget about that guy, Darius Slayton.
So I think every New York Giants fan wants to forget him too. But it was just there was no chance for the win because Renegades of Funk had the GOAT, Jonathan Taylor, this past week.
Yeah, this game was over by noon on Sunday because Jonathan Taylor played in the international game. 61 points. This is one of the best fantasy games of all time. 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. This is his 5th career game over 200 scrimmage yards. An 83-yard run is the longest in the league this season. It's also the longest in Colts history. And he passed Edgerrin James for the most rushing touchdowns in Colts history.
Which is crazy.
4th player all time with at least 3 touchdowns in 5 games, twice in their career. Can you name the other 3?
Okay, let's try Priest Holmes.
No.
Okay, how about it has to be a Chief running back. Is it Johnson?
Nope.
It's not Chiefs running back then.
Nope.
Damn.
No Chiefs. I'll give you a couple hints. One guy is currently active. One guy was recently arrested, and the other guy acted in some movies.
Acted some movies.
Old school guy.
So I guess you got so one's O.J. Simpson. He's the actor.
Nope.
O.J. Simpson's not the actor?
Not the actor.
He's not the actor? What? Oh shit. You said one guy's active, which is crazy. So it has to be Saquon, maybe. Or no, it'd be Derrick Henry, sorry. It's Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry
is the active guy. That's King Henry himself. One guy's arrested, which it's not Jamal Lewis.
Modern player, only been out of the league a couple years. He played for. I'm going to name the odd teams, not the obvious one. He was on the Saints, Cardinals, Redskins. That might be it without giving it away.
Nah, I don't have it. You go ahead and say it. I have no idea who that is then.
His main team was the Vikings.
What? He isn't arrested.
Adrian Peterson.
He's arrested?
Yeah.
What'd he do? Yeah.
I can't remember.
I'm like, wait a minute, he's arrested? Like, I would never. That's why I never got it. I didn't think Adrian Peterson was arrested. Like, wait a minute, like he's not arrested. And he's not an actor, so I have no idea the fuck who this would be. And you said the other guy's an actor. I don't know who is this person.
Okay, the actor is Jim Brown.
Oh, Jim Brown. Oh, well, okay, all right, well, fine. His acting wasn't bad. I mean, it's blaxploitation film, so I mean, it's what it is. He was he was
in Cannonball Run, right?
Jim Brown was he in Cannonball Run? I don't think so. Cannonball Run had Terry Bradshaw. They played like stuttering like Hicks, whatever. They had that pickup truck, young Terry Bradshaw. But I don't think Jim Brown was in it. No, Cannonball Run had Jackie Chan in it.
Yeah, Demas took a 0 from Brian Thomas, 27 from Jacoby Brissett, 19 from Devontae Adams. He might be hurt, though. He pulled up lame, just coming off the line after 6 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
He just never came back after the touchdown.
Yeah, I would plan on him not playing this week. Theo Johnson, 7 catches, 75 yards, 25 points last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, that's that Jackson Dart connection. Hot news flash, though. Starter this Sunday, our boy, Jameis Winston. He's back.
Jameis, with a new head coach, Brian Daboll got fired.
Melancholy goodbye to him, man, because let's be honest, he wasn't the problem. He had a deal with the groceries that New York had And then he showed up. He drafted Jackson Dart to be his Josh Allen clone. He's playing like Josh Allen, and he's like, "You're
He
fired."
might be better than Josh Allen because Josh Allen cannot get other guys to play up to higher levels. Where
Right.
Dart elevated this team, like Scadaboo, Neighbors, and now Theo Johnson and Dart. That looks like a very good core to be excited about if you're a Giants fan. And they just pulled the rug out from under Daboll. He just ran out of time, I guess. Then DeAndre Swift from the flex spot, 80 yards for the Bears.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift is continuing to hold like that starting spot because he had 18. He had 5 catches for 18 yards as a relief valve there, and had 13 carries for 80 yards, which is like probably his best like running total since. So maybe having a relief valve, a second person helping him like kind of stay fresh throughout the game. I personally, as a guy going against him, I felt insulted because he did start Brian Thomas, who gave him a 0. And even like usually if you start somebody at the wide receiver spot and give you a 0, that's usually an L happening very soon. And he, Jonathan Taylor erased all fears.
Yeah, yeah. This win, like 139, could have won you some games, but not this one. He left the Seahawks head coach on the bench. That would have got him high points. Kamani Vidal, he's just, you never know what you're going to get with him. 28, 9, 27, 7, and 27.
Yeah, that's a hell of a stretch. That's a hell of a stretch, man. I don't understand it because that means next week he's not going to be good. That's what it means. Like that's where he's at right now because he only had 1 catch where he's known as a guy for receiving, but he's been toting the rock. Anytime he totes over 15 carries, he's getting close to 100 yards.
That's the key to him. Just get him the ball and he'll get you the points. But if the game script doesn't allow it, you could end up with a dud. TJ Hawkinson, speaking of duds, 24th ranked tight end. This is garbage. 4, 9, and 2 the last 3 weeks. He has 6 catches on 8 targets the last 3 weeks. 45 points the last 3 weeks. This is like he's droppable. He should be one of the best tight ends in fantasy football.
Yeah, he should be one of the best tight ends in the league, technically. Is making you wonder, like, is he, did the Lions really see Sam Laporta? They saw him, Hawkinson, not good, and like, we're going to move off him and go to Sam Laporta, and maybe we're not seeing the tea leaves yet.
That's a good point. Yeah, the Trent Richardson syndrome, where just the team that has him knows something that no one else knows. That's a good point because he's been dreadful this year, and he might be responsible. We can't blame JJ McCarthy for everything.
Right. That's what I'm getting to. Like, JJ's not that great, but he's proven that like even when JJ's not playing, he hasn't been lighting the world on fire. He's only had 1 game over 15 points, 2 games double digits all season long. So it's yeah.
Yeah, because young quarterbacks like to hit up the tight ends, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not even happening in this case.
Not even close.
Back to you before we finish up. Jackson Dart became the 5th rookie quarterback since 1950 to have 5 games with at least 50 rushing yards. Sam Darnold got you 9 points on the bench. He only had 12 pass attempts and 3 turnovers in a win. His 3rd time this season that Seattle scored 30 or more in the first half. They're probably my biggest surprise of the season, Seattle. Like they are a legit, just hard-nosed football team. Or if you give them a lead, you're not getting it back.
Yeah, you're not getting your lead back from them, and then the Rams is a team that's scary because they can just score on you. They score fast. It's their defense isn't good, but their offense is when they're clicking. The offense is clicking with Puka and Adams. Like it's a hard out.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. Yeah.
Even Blake Corum is doing decent things with the limited touches he's getting as the second running back.
Yeah, and you got to believe, and Stafford's been playing like Stafford's like top 3 quarterback right now.
That's a great segue because our next game was started by Matt Stafford for the Tampa Bay Punishers, who scored 177. He got high points. Freeman got just demolished here. And it started with Matt Stafford, who became the first player in NFL history with at least 4 touchdown passes, but no interceptions in 3 consecutive games. 39 points from Stafford.
Yeah, I was incorrect. He's ranked fourth. Yeah, not top three. He's fourth right now. 39 points is crazy. Derrick Henry, 18 points, 75 yards rushing. I'll be a little disappointed because I don't know if he's like hitting the wall now or is the way the offense is going, but I think King Henry should get over 100 yards rushing per game. And the fact he hasn't is kind of bothering me. J.K. Dobbins, 14 points, 77 yards rushing. After the game, he was nursing his leg. I think there was a hip drop tackle that messed him up, and he was like cursing about it, like how the hip drop tackle should be. They didn't call it. Like, at least he did it to me. Y'all could at least call the flag on me. Like, y'all didn't even do that. And now he's just injured. So that's the thing to monitor there.
Yeah, he's had some serious leg injuries throughout his career too. He's been very good this season.
Drake London, 6 for 104 and a touchdown, 24 points. Um, he's continuing. Him and Penix got a really good relationship right there. Penix understands that Drake London's all I got on offense, so I'm going to keep throwing the Drake London. Drake London ranked number 6 wide receiver in the league, so big shouts to him. I'm going to always be down on him because he's a Falcon player, but he had 8 targets, 6 catches for 104, and in the last 5 weeks, he's had 5 touchdowns. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, solid pick by Hine to select him. Like he obviously identified him as a guy he thought could break out this year, and he did. And Jalen Waddle's breakout without Tyreek Hill continues. Another touchdown, 5 catches, 84 yards, and a shocking win for Miami over Buffalo.
Right. Waddle in the last 6 weeks has had been double digits except one game, and that's against Cleveland, rightfully so. But he's been actually money now. This is the Waddle we saw his rookie year.
Yeah, when he was doing that penguin dance in the end zone,
which was cool. He should have kept doing that. That's called branding.
Wan'Dale Robinson, be interesting to see how he does with Winston at quarterback, because you figure they're going to be flinging the ball, and he's been pretty good the last few weeks. He has 15 catches, 22 targets. Doesn't really do very well with like yards after the catch or yards per catch, but he's a decent fantasy player the last month.
Yeah. He serves well in PPR formats. He gets a gang of targets. Some yards do not look good, but it's worth something there. Seattle defense, 2 touchdowns, 2 scoop and scores by DeMarcus Lawrence, and 2 forced fumbles. That score could have been higher if they didn't even allow 22 points for the Cardinals to score something. When your fantasy special teams gives you a 40, you're doing pretty good.
Baker Mayfield on the bench, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Mason, yikes. And then Hunter Henry got dropped. He has not had double-digit points since week 4.
Yeah, that Patriots offense is a lot of wide receiver action now, not so much the tight end now. They don't really go to the tight end as much on that offense now.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive. And then Freeman, remember back in week 2, we circled Freeman as like the first team to be in trouble? Well, it turns out we were right, because he is DFL in points scored in the league. And I mean, look at we were kind of jaw dropped about Kenneth Gainwell getting multiple starts. His RB 1 and 2 is Gainwell and DeMarcado, and his flex is Isaiah Davis. This is a real live fantasy football team.
This is what we call a sad stack. This is it. Like this is your starting squad. Like that is. I thought my running back room is bad. His is worse. Like mine's bad. That's the reason why I lost this year. His running back room is the worst though. His team is carried essentially by Jamar Chase, and Caleb Williams. They score so high that his team could get these wins, but he can't. He can't live like this. Garrett Wilson, he's doubtful now. He's out. He's doubtful. That's not good. DJ Moore, healthy, started, played a full game, 0. Had 4 targets, 0. It's just, you can't live.
Colston Loveland, the rookie tight end for the Bears. So I have a feeling he's going to be a year too early on this Bears offense. Like they're figuring things out now. I wouldn't be surprised if they get it together next season or later in this season, but when it's too late for fantasy purposes. But yeah, this is just a bad week for him in a bad season because Tony Pollard had a bye week, Travis Kelce had a bye week. He's still 4-6, so he's not dead. But out of the 4-6 teams, I think he's easily in the worst position.
Yeah, it's not good because when your other running back is Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard ain't really did nothing. So that's the one you're missing, and it's like, you know what I mean. Travis Kelsey's going to be good, and like so, if Jamar Chase keeps exploding, he'll do just fine. And unfortunately, Hampton's not going to be back early enough to help save his season. These injuries this year they last so long.
Yeah, you want to take this into the standings?
Yeah, let's take it right to standings. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Lionheart 8-2, Jordan 7-3. They've been propping up the top two for a while. Spawn and Hind both 6-4, and then we have the mushy middle 4-5-5 teams and 5-4-6 teams.
So yeah, if you're 4-6, you got to keep winning. You can't afford to lose. That goes down to if you're 4-6 and you lose this week, it's over for you. And then if you're 5-5 and you lose, you still have a chance, but you better score some points. If you end up being 6-5, you're gonna get in the playoff picture and you have a chance because the people are 6-4 need to keep winning. That's just right now. You have to keep the wins. The only people who can afford to lose a game for real is Lionheart's. He can afford to lose a game. If he had to lose a game, he could lose one. But I don't see him losing another one right now. And Jordan, who has the red hot team, he should keep going as well. Spain's interesting because if you look at the score, the points for, like, he is clear cut above everybody when it comes to points. He scores the most points.
Yeah, he's blasting
everyone.
Like he has season high points in the bag at this point. And the second high points is DeMoss at 1,414. But he's only 4-6.
It just comes down to it is your matchups you play every week, and it's tough. It's real tough.
Yeah, DeMoss second in scoring. He's second in points against also at 1,387. The highest points again is Art at 1,447.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Heater, he is sinking like a stone.
Yeah, it's not good because when your points for and points against, when your points against you is higher, that's usually a recipe for disaster. Take it from a guy who's already on the out. I'm already on the out. I've had 1,400 points scored on me, and I barely scored 1,200. So it's just what it is.
So you're the second highest points against, and in a year where your team kind of crumbled in your hand.
Yeah.
With the injuries.
But Art scored the least amount of points. So sometimes it's just in the league itself. No, he's second lowest because Freeman scored the least amount.
Yeah. And then you and Freeman are the only ones in single digit playoff percentage at 8-3. Everyone else is.
It went up 2% since this morning.
4 of those 5-4-6 teams all won this week. Freeman had a chance to get to 5-5 with a win, but his 88 points wasn't going to help him out there. We'll do the playoff bracket next week, just since there's so many middling teams this week. We'll do Player of the Week and then Hall of Famer.
So let's see. My Player of the Week. You know what? I'm gonna give the A-Chain because very impressive. He, because we always know him for a scat back catching the ball. He gets all his fancy points off receiving. When you had him last year, all his points were off receiving, barely off rushing. And this week against the Bills, he was the truth on the ground. He was unstoppable.
I'm going to give mine to someone on Art's team. Art needed a win in a big way to stay alive. And you sold me on this. I'm going to give it to Breece Hall and his 27 points and an 8-point win with that 12-point or 11-point touchdown catch he had.
I see that. Okay. I'm done with that.
And that takes us to our Hall of Famer. I inducted Andre Johnson last week, so you got it this week.
So my fantasy player that I will induct this year is he was drafted in 1999 in one of the most outrageous NFL drafts. Where the saying this, you'll understand who this is. The Saints gave up their entire draft for him, and he was drafted fifth overall. Came from Texas, drafted from the Saints, and he played on the Dolphins. From 2002, 2003, 2005. He played a little bit up north in Canada. They came back to Dolphins again in 2007, 2010, and he retired as a Raven. He's first team All Pro in 2002. He Pro Bowl 2002. He's NFL rush leader in 2002 as well. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, a bunch of awards. He was the best, clear cut NFL player at the time. At the time when he retired, he had 10,000 yards rushing, 60 yards touchdowns, and 2,000 yards receiving with 8 more touchdowns to boot. And take it that he went to the CFL and he had another 500 yards there as well. We're talking about no other than Mr. Ricky Williams. He retired because he wanted to smoke weed. That's that's pretty much it. You know, he chose marijuana when marijuana was legal in NFL, and he said, "I'm going to smoke weed. You're not going to stop me." But in 2002, if you drafted him on your team, take it that he was already a hot commodity. In his second season in NFL, he had 1,000 yards rushing for New Orleans and 1,200 yards. And then he went to Miami and he exploded for 1,800 yards rushing with 16 touchdowns. That's a guaranteed fantasy winner. I don't care who you are. That you're winning a fantasy season with that. And that's when they played 16 games. So it's like that's pretty damn good. And he followed that up with 1,300 yard receiving as well. And when he got hurt and he was suspended for a season with the marijuana, and he had a good little blow up, little bubble up year later on for 1,100 yards as well in 2009, before he just kind of just fell off the cliff pretty much. But you know, he get a plaque in here in my Hall of Fame here in our Hall of Fame for fantasy because if you had him, he was pretty damn good, and we will always remember how hard he ran. He was the Miami offense before Ronnie Brown. It was him.
Yeah, I think that was part of why he soured too. Is he knew the Dolphins were just killing him. 383 and 392 carries in 2002, 2003, back to back. He also played minor league baseball with the Phillies.
Really?
Yeah, he's just one of the greatest what ifs. The fact that he got to 10,000 career rushing yards is kind of amazing. Yeah, just a fascinating career and guy. And I totally do not remember the Toronto Argonaut stint. I'll give credit to anybody who goes to play in a lower level league like that. And then credit to Mike Ditka too for identifying a guy he wanted and trading your entire draft for. Is that stupid? Yes, but like, you know, what do they say? Like fortune favors the bold, and he wanted to build his team around Ricky Williams. He's a little underwhelming with the Saints, and they bailed on him too early, I would say.
Yeah, they bailed him too early, especially for giving up that many draft picks. You have to at least see it through. Back then, you having a running back, a good running back in 2000, you're guaranteed a playoff spot. That's every great any team that won a Super Bowl around that time had a great running back on their team.
Yep. They were the engines at the time. They got 2 first rounders back for him from the Dolphins. But yeah, hats off, Ricky Williams. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Hall of Fame. That's it for us. We'll be back next week. Good luck out there.
Yeah, good luck.